February issue of the Open Source Business Resource, OSBR, is now available at osbr.ca. The theme this month is commercialization. The focus is on how new market offers use open source to make money. The number of market offers that rely on open source to generate companies' revenues is increasing. Open source has transformed how we develop software, hardware, content, and scientific knowledge. It is now transforming how we commercialize the market offers that generate revenue for companies that rely on open source projects. Now we go over to Andrew. Sorry, I was supposed to read the next section too. Now we go back to James. The articles and authors include Tony Belletti from Carleton University contributes a tool to measure the strength of a business model and shows how open source can be used to strengthen market offers business models. Over to you, Andrew.
For a company's commercialization efforts to succeed, it needs to come up with great market offers which have great business models. Open source is neither a model or a market offer. A market offer with weak business model will derive little benefit from open source regardless of how good the open source may be. Little is known about how open source strengthens the business model of a company's market offer. This article provides a conceptual tool which can be used to capture, share, and communicate the strength of a company's business model and help articulate tacit knowledge into explicit knowledge. The second half of the article provides many examples that shows how open source strengthens a company's business model. Back to you, James.
Thank you, Andrew. Peter Carbone, a veteran executive who specializes in ICT strategy and commercialization, highlights the relevance of new business models and ecosystems in the knowledge era economy.
Peter Carbone begins with an introduction and then argues that a shift in what is valued drives the need for new business models. The third section provides examples of innovative business models. The fourth section describes two roles in an ecosystem, the keystone and niche player. Finally, the last section provides the conclusion of this article. Back to you, James.
Eddie Ferreira and Stoyan Tanev from Carleton University describe the ways companies make money from market offers that rely on open source hardware projects.
The study of open source software development and how business strategies have become the subject of significant research interest. However, there is little research on business models associated with the development of open source assets, other than software such as hardware or content. This article provides an overview of current business models for creating revenue for both open source software and hardware. It then summarizes our research of market offers to identify the ways that companies use open source hardware to make money. The research results provide an insight into the dimension of open source business models in an area other than typical software development. Back to you, James.
Thank you. In the next article, David A. Wheeler, a software developer and technical author, argues that there are two types of commercial software, proprietary software and FLOSS.
Many people mistakenly use the term commercial software as though it was the opposite of free and libre open source software, or FLOSS. This is in spite of the rise in commercial software development and support for FLOSS. The goal of most FLOSS projects is also to incorporate improvements, which is actually a form of financial gain. The official definitions of commercial items also include FLOSS. FLOSS licenses and projects clearly approve of commercial support. This paper provides examples for each of the 4 points mentioned above and briefly notes some alternative terms and ends with some conclusions and explains why it's important to understand FLOSS software is almost always commercial. James?
Jennifer Bell introduces visiblegovernment.ca and describes why open government data is a valuable investment in Canada's infrastructure.
Industry analyst Gardner describes web services based on open government data as having greater potential effect on the ability to transfer government than anything else in the Web 2.0 world. In his technology platform, Barack Obama has made groundbreaking promises related to the increasing government accountability by 1. Publishing data in open formats, and 2. Using online tools to involve citizens in government decision-making. These transformative ideas have not yet spread to politics in Canada. As citizens, we trust that money is being spent wisely on the systems that run our country. We trust that the people governing us have the skills, time, and information they need to make the best decisions. We trust that the bureaucracies are well designed and that the people in them are motivated to make the bureaucracies run better. Unfortunately, it's hard to trust what you can't see. By publishing information in open, machine-readable formats, governments can take a powerful step towards building public trust. By sharing information, governments can start to channel the expertise of the citizenry outside of the civil service to build a more effective and inclusive ways of running the country. The nonprofit visiblegovernment.ca is working to make online tools for civic participation based on open government data a reality in Canada. This article describes why open government data is not only a requirement for greater government transparency, but also valuable investment in our country's infrastructure.
Mike Cavus answers the question, how can an individual or small business give back to an open source community? As always, we encourage readers to share articles of interest with their colleagues and to provide their comments either online or directly to the authors. We hope you enjoy this issue of the OSBR. The editorial theme for the upcoming March issue of the OSBR is geospatial, and the guest editor will be Dave Makalaga, CEO of DM Solutions. Thanks for the continuing interest in our work.